Hello, and welcome to the next turn. So Archacephalus received a messenger from Marignon just telling him where Phaecia is. He found a magic site, the Caves of Passing Time, which we'll check out after this battle, where he is attacking a bunch of independents. With this army, he has multiple commanders. Looks like one of his commanders was not scripted to hold and is just bravely charging forward. He immediately gets a never healing wound. Oh, he just killed that guy though. He's still going. Oh, but not, he's diseased. He got diseased. His troops show up bravely to save their commander on the precipice of death with 1 HP left. Amazingly, he manages to survive the battle. And yeah, his mage, who he had scripted to retreat, who's sitting here in the back, she does immediately retreat, as should have happened. And then a bunch of unexpected events occurred. One in the Modern Weld. A peddler was peddling his wares in the province when one of your agents discovered a few magic gems of various types among his glass pearls and buttons. They were swiftly and forcefully bought at the price Short Boy King of Kings intended. So we got a bunch of different gems for 1 gold, which is great. Great luck event. Children are disappearing at night. This is not a good one. +1 magic's okay, but... And then in the Troll Canyons, trolls living under bridges have killed and eaten travelers. Well, of course. That's why they're called the Troll Canyons. And then his commander died immediately from disease after that battle. The disease that he got from being stabbed. So he's now 1 commander down. Selvis was proclaimed. Stories of the now dead Selvis. His deeds were being proclaimed across the world. Unfortunately, he did die immediately after receiving that recognition. Interesting. I thought Archacephaly had another hero. Yeah, he does. Crom. This guy clearly says he's on the Hall of Fame, and yet he is not here. A bit of a weird bug. Anyway, so he's building a palisade over here on 132. Which, I mean, it's a decent enough province to build a palisade on. It's got high resources, good recruitment points, and it's got a lot of provinces it can pull from. But it is in your cap circle, so you're going to lower the amount of resources this castle can pull from, because this guy's going to drain it. It's also going to drain the resources out of these 2 provinces, which are also in your cap circle. So I don't know if I really agree with this. You could have just started building a fort in this province. Or over here. That could have been okay. This is not like a terrible spot for a fort. It's also a neat choke point with this river over here. Although I suppose your Dominion is spreading cold, so rivers aren't really as big a strategic element as they would be under heat scales. But anyway, I digress. There is one big error happening this turn, and that is because his commander died, all these troops are now leaderless. So he is leaving them in the province. He didn't pick them up and put them on his prophet. So he is walking into this battle at 134 with half of his expansion army, and the other half's just sitting, doing nothing. I think he can still win, even with this stuff and his prophet, but I'm not sure it could push on to fight these lizards. I mean, hell, I don't know if all of these could fight the lizards anyway. Lizards are no joke. Still, his easy avenues of expansion this turn seem to be cut off. What is he sending here? He's sending his battery to go site search. And what is over here? Another mystic. What is he recruiting? Recruiting 2 scouts? I don't know about that. I think you need commanders. You really need to prioritize moving armies around and taking provinces, because there's still so much easy clay up here. All this is so easy to take. You should have a guy over here snatching this stuff up. No problem. This is sort of a dead end. Like, this is a useless desert. This is a really hard province. This is hard. This is probably pretty doable with, like, chariots. This is tough, but worth it. It's a farmland. So there's like a lot of stuff that should be being eaten up. Interestingly, this province here has death too, so I wonder if there is a hidden death site on this province. Probably. Otherwise, can he see any of the other players? Does he know where any of them are? No, he can't. But can he see Facia's candles? He can. He can see there is an enemy dominion over here in province 137. So if he's paying attention, he will know that Facia is in this province. Or at least he'll know someone is in this province. Not Facia, but someone with misfortune and heat, presumably. So I guess that could really be anybody. But he's going to run into someone very soon, it seems like. Otherwise, not much going on this turn. I think this fort's fine. Like it'll do. And this recruitment's okay. I like, you know, I mean, wait, no, it's not. This recruitment's dumb. What are you doing? You're stockpiling these resources. Just like get hoplites instead. These guys are just better. They have way more protection. Their fighting stats are largely better. They hit harder. You know, they hit harder. They have longer range. These guys are way better. Just get these guys. They're just better. You have they cost the same amount of gold. Oh no, they don't. They cost 13 more gold. Okay, fair enough. It's not strictly better to get hoplites. But still, I would get hoplites instead of these goons. Hoplites are much cooler. And then Ulm. He finished construction 1 this turn. He found a magic site. Oh right, I forgot to look at the magic site that Archaecephaly found. Which was the Caves of Passing Time. A really great site. Earth 1, Astral 1. Really cool. He didn't have access to Earth before, so that's very welcome. And more Astral Pearls are always great. Always good to capitalize on your strengths and make them stronger. Ulm fought 1 battle in the Stonegrave Mountains. This is still his starting expansion army, which has just taken very few casualties up against some generic indies with archers. The only worry here is if his commander gets pinged, but he's got a shield and a lot of armor. He'll probably be fine. The archers keep shooting him to the bitter end, but they just get poked. And no casualties. Another perfect expansion take. And new trade routes in Ulm. So Ulm is now worth more money. And suddenly, Bartolf, the hero, appeared at the gates of your citadel and wanted to fight for your cause. Bartolf was dubbed a Black Knight at the age of 13. He appeared as a mystery knight at the great tournament of Black Keep and emerged victorious. Soon after this deed, he became known throughout the realm, and men from near and far came to challenge him. Bartolf has never lost challenge and is the pride of the Black Keep, which he has immediately been renamed to Grace Warrior, the hero. This guy's pretty good. His stats are high. His protection's extremely high. His leadership is excellent. This is not a leadership value Ulm can get naturally. And his map move is very high too, even with armor. He can lead Black Knights around a long distance, especially with roads. He's good. Like, you can actually thug this guy out, but maybe his best thing is that he's just a really good leader. And what does he have doing with him? He's patrolling. He's patrolling in his capital. No, just go here. This is free. With this many pikeneers? Absolutely. Like, oh, he's now, okay, he's still recruiting 2 master smiths, which is good. And he's now making guys with battle axes. He's also doing that thing where he's like clicking the last guy and making a black steel plate, but he screwed up somehow. It's like you've got 14 floating, just delete this and do that. Anyway, making his first black plate's cool. These guys are really good. Floating a lot of money being floated that really should be spent on a fort. If I were him, I would not be moving this smith down here. Hopper 2, Uncle Tom. Duke, Dunk, Frosty, Fritz, Ratty, Ratman. What are these names? Anyway, I would have Hopper 2 just build a lab or build a palisade because this province gives you bone raiders. This thing's insane. You can have undead All Mights. He's gonna try taking this with his expansion army. Ulm is so busted that they can just walk into provinces like with their expansion army and they just win whatever. It's like, are these Raphites? Are these All Mights? Insane. And they'll probably win, and they'll probably be able to take something else after that too, assuming Agartha isn't trying to get over here. Which, Agartha's going to have a fort up first, so if Agartha gets into an early war with Ulm, I think Agartha wins. Because Ulm is being very slow on the taking of land. Taking one province a turn, painfully slow. There's no good reason, just take this, it's free. And then you have all of this, just free real estate. And if you think that's too dangerous, just go here then, and then take this. This is easy. This is just like 20 wolf tribe. Nothing. Or this. This is easy. Or this. This is also easy. Maybe this. Also easy. All of this stuff is easy. This is easy too, but it's a desert, so it's like not really worth taking early on. Still, floating a huge amount of money. Since you have all this money, just make the Black Knights. Black Knights are like more costly on gold and resources, but efficiency-wise, it's spending more of your gold. So like, you know, here you're spending 1481 instead of here you still have 1546 left, so you get out more gold expenditure by building these Black Knights, and these guys are great. These are very good units. Like, Marignan Sacreds are better, but only because they can be blessed. These guys have 23 protection. They can stand up to Marignan Sacreds. Like, even when they get blood surged, they'll barely be out DPSing these guys. Out DPSing. They'll barely be out damaging their protection value. Now, their stats are way better, so it's not like the Black Knights could really stand up to them in combat for very long. So that's why you should just have the Black Steel or Black Plate Pioneer guys do it, because they do it way cheaper and they've still got the same protection. But these guys are really tanky. And they're fast. They're the fastest Ulm has. They can be on an attack rare command and go for the crossbow line in the back, or the mages, the communion. These guys are really good. Still researching for construction. Yeah. Not hiring the horrible Beast Brothers. Not much else to say about this turn. Quicksand's a nice magic site, +1 earth gem. It's cool. Ulm gets a lot of earth gems though. Their forges of Ulm produce 5 a turn, which is pretty nice. And then Marignan. So Marignan had a lot of action this turn, tried to assassinate a lot more commanders. He's going for a lone indie commander here. Oh, he actually got hit. Oh, he got hit again. He chopped off his arm. That was his poison dagger. Wow. Just got annihilated by Herbathre. And then he killed this barbarian chief, and he killed that commander. So he won a couple assassinations. And here he is attacking in the Fields of Gold, which he's assassinated twice here. And yeah, there's generally always going to be like one commander left. Oh, there's even another. Yeah, he still had a ways to go before he cleared out all the leadership here. That said, I don't think he's going to have a problem dealing with this. His front line, in quotes, may have issues. Yeah, the flatulence just get erased. Oh, the Pioneers got too. The command, though, gets... Whoa. We gotta go back in time. It was a little too fast. So his Sacreds get blessed. They run forward. They immediately assassinate the leadership. Ooh, and then half of them are out because there's no leaders, but the other guys are going for blood before they see all their friends are murdered. And then they run, but you can't run. You can't run from these guys. Look at that. Look at these stats. This is insane. But you see what I mean? Like, a lance strike is just enough to get over the protection of a Black Knight of Ulm. And that's only for the first strike. After that, they're swapping to their broadsword. Even when blood surged, hitting for 21, like, they'll do damage, but not that much damage. The deadly yellow mold was harder to get rid of than anticipated. Oh, how awful. Losing even more PD. And then children are disappearing at night. Man, Marignan just sucks. Marignan's an awful place. These misfortune scales really screwing them up. That's a lot of province defense lost. Generally, you know, capitals have 25. They lost 12 PD. That's pretty nasty. Forgot to put a PD here, but anyway. Looks like he's sending his troops up here. Yeah, just sending everything he's got up into Bogatin, which is quite close to Fascia. So it's curious how Fascia will respond here. He's taking his troubadour and sending him out of this throne. Maybe he just wanted to see what was in here. Maybe he was considering rushing this throne early. I guess he can see it's the silver throne, which is cool. This is a really good one. It gives you this neat mage, which is really good for Marignan. Gives him extremely high air, which I think he can get air by default, but it's sort of limited to his communions. Yeah, basically it's limited to his communions to get high, but this could get you air 3 naturally, and that's really high. That's really good. Lets you cast Storm. With the gem, you can cast, like, yeah, you cast Storm. Otherwise, he is taking his Paladin and his 5 Sacreds, sending them down here to these Deer Tribe. Assassinating here. I feel like this is a waste of assassin turns. Like, if you're just going to send an army in to hit it anyway, what's the point? Like, I get assassinating barbarians because you don't want to send an army into there, but Marignan's starting to pick up his expansion. Going to be hitting 2 provinces now, which he really needs it, because I think he is, apart from Fascia, in last place for provinces held. But if he keeps this up, he will rapidly outpace some of the other players who have not been able to replicate that. Making Witch Hunter, Assassin, more Knights of the Chalice. Yeah, he can pump these things out. They're expensive, but now that he's got half of his cap ring, he's just going to be able to get out more and more. He could get out one more, I think, if he didn't recruit any commanders. No, not quite. He doesn't have the resources. So maybe after he takes this province, he can do it. I guess he got Enchantment 2 this turn. I don't know what the point of it is. But Conjuration 2. Yeah, I can't say I know what the point is for this either. Maybe he's thinking about the just the buffs he can get later. Maybe it's the same thing with Enchantment. He's just trying to keep his options open. But I wouldn't bother with that. I would just like go, like, if you want Flaming Arrows, just go for Flaming Arrows or Strength of Giants, or if you want Seeking Arrow or Gift of Flight, I guess you could potentially cast that. Just go for it. Or if you want Conjuration 3, just take it. Not like this weird half mixture, because this doesn't get you anything. This just spends a lot of time getting halfway to goals, but not getting any goals. He's not recruiting any mercenaries. That's okay. I don't think he needs them. So it seems a little strange that he has these crossbowmen with his friar. They could just be going like this, and then they get +1 morale. Not that it makes a huge difference, but the friar could be then sent to go do something else. He could go like pick up some dudes in the capital and start another expansion army. He will have a bunch of sacreds in his capital after this turn. Agartha received a message from Archaecephaly asking him if he was on 30, which he is not. And that's the Marignon message. One of he who brings tendies to the cave's crippled units died during the march from Erd to Dead Marshes, which I believe was that horribly crippled troglodyte. And yes, it was, because he is now gone. This province just has some pretty generic indies. We'll see how Agartha fares here. His light infantry look like they're going to take the blow first, which again, not good. Those are the squishy guys who are going to get hurt badly compared to the heavier, tankier dudes. They should really be on like the flanks and told to attack rear or something. But he only loses one, so very minor losses. And then you try to take another battle in his cap circle with a lot of troglodytes against nothing. You know, I mean, some bones. These ghouls have poison claws, which is kind of spooky. If you get hit by them, you can fall asleep pretty quick. But if you just kill them, then they don't really get that. So, he just... Oh, he actually lost one troglodyte. Unfortunate. One of the long dead. I guess he has a broadsword. Yeah, that's a lot of chopping damage. Took him out. Sad, but 50 gold down the drain. Unexpected event in Oak Hall. Some barbarian scouts have been caught and interrogated. They seem to have been preparing for a large-scale attack. Well, it is good to catch these type of events before they happen, but that's pretty awful. Like to get a barbarian invasion this early, that's really crippling. It depends on how many barbarians are actually going to show up, but I hope he's moving to deal with it. Oh, and this sucks. Just unrest and misfortune. He did get a hero, though. His prophet is now... Wow, he's inspiration... No. His heroic endurance. Okay, so he's reinvigoration 3. So, looks like he's moving away from Fascia, just coming up here to take 26, which is a pretty reasonable choice. But he is sending his scouts. He's sending his scouts over to Fascia to see what he has. He can see his capitals here. He can see Fascia hasn't taken his cap circle yet. I wonder what he'll do with this knowledge. His fort is not done. It'll be done in 3 turns. And once that's done, any avenues of early expansion over here will probably be a lot more successful. Where was it going? Oak Hall. So he's not sending anything to the Oak Halls. Not that he really can. I guess he doesn't really have anything in position. But he's going to lose this province to barbarians 100%. And that's going to be pretty awful. He's not going to have a commander. I guess he could send one of his mages in. But yeah, it really depends on how many barbarians are going to pop up here. This is extra awful because it's in his cap circle. So he's going to lose these valuable resources that the province is providing for his capital. That really sucks. Oh, but he did get a lava lake. This is a really nice magic site, especially for Agartha, which doesn't have, well, it needs water. It needs water for its Olm summons. O-L-M, not U-L-M. And there's Jade. Wow, more Jade Amazons. It's crazy. These are really good. these are really good. Agartha doesn't have nature naturally? I don't think so. Yeah, so this is like Agartha just got into nature, which is like actually insane. Because with statues, I mean, okay, statues are not going to be affected by foul vapors. So you put a Jade, an Amazon Jade priestess, wizard, whatever, the N1 Water 1 mage, give her a Thistle Mace and a Moonvine Bracelet, turn her Nature 3, she's suddenly casting Foul Vapors, hitting the whole battlefield, and your statues are just completely immune. Oh, it's game over. It's game over. Like, the old men in the back who are desperately casting, like, oh, kill magic being spell, they just choke and die. They get gassed. Oh, these provinces are about to look really similar. That's so sucky. Agartha also doesn't have a lot of access to roads here, so he can't even really move his army quickly. Like Ulm, for example, is right off of a big main road. He can move his army very rapidly, but Agartha is in the middle of a horrible forest, so all of his movement's going to be really slow and cumbersome by comparison. I'm sure he'll take this easily. I don't know about this, though. I don't know about this. I don't know if he can do this. This has got heavy cavalry. He does have his prophet, but his prophet's not really scripted to do anything, just like cast spells. And, I mean, this is a situation where you actually want the light infantry to take the blow first, because they're the lesser of the two units. I guess. I mean, these guys have more protection. Regardless, like, if you get hit with a lance strike, this guy's gonna die anyway. I don't know if he'll win that, but we'll see. He is really eyeing up this throne here in 31. He'll have it surrounded pretty well. No one's over here to contest him, really. Ulm is slightly in the region, and Marignan is maybe pushing towards it, but it seems like Agartha is going to have free reign over here. Agartha just has a lot of free reign over a lot of stuff. A lot of really uncontested stuff. We'll have to see what Fascia is doing on his turn. Nothing to recruit in this swamp, in the dead marshes. Anyway, on to the final turn for Fascia. He got Evocation 1, which is neat. Searched for magic sites, but didn't find anything. A couple crippled units died, and then he fought this battle in Lithia, which he won. He did put his units in the back, smartly. Oh, but these guys are still on hold and attack. Do they actually get up first? Oh no. Oh no, it's not. It didn't work at all. They're on hold and attack. Oh, maybe they'll still meet in front because they threw their javelins. Oh yes, just perfectly. Just in time, the militia sweep in to eat the blows. But that was very close. Obviously, tactically designed to work out this way. The militia bravely die for their overlords, and the Indies are smashed. So we lost 6 militia, but no big deal. And then an unexpected event. In Windsong Forest, brigands have taken up residence in ruin. Lots of unrest events this turn. Lots of people having unrest. This 48 unrest really cripples the income of this province. I think it was like 50, 60 last turn, so we're losing like a third of the wealth. He is recruiting another Colossi Storm Captain and more Colossi Light Infantry. Presumably he's going to take this army and send it to expand somewhere. And over here, he's taking this big clump and walking into 141. He is recruiting the Urgek Beast Brothers in his capital. He is not rehiring the Snake Charmer, which I guess he thinks their service is basically done. Which, I guess. I mean, I feel like they've been of use, being a meat shield, pretty efficiently. But maybe he thinks their value is over. He's actually moved them closer, tighter now, and they're no longer on hold and attack. So, definitely aware of what's going on in these battles. He can probably win this, but at the end of the day, it's a desert. It does give him a lot of options from where to expand, but all of this is free. Like, all of this is gray flags that he could nab. However, he does know that this province here has an enemy candle in it. Very obviously, you know, there's enemy dominion here because the province is cold. This is like a horrible, frosted over cave. This terrible maw surrounded by summer provinces. Definitely doesn't look friendly. And you can see it's someone running big scales and cold. But magic sort of gives it away that no, it's not Ulm. Because Ulm always runs Drain. They'll never run magic. So, it's not Ulm. It's probably not Marignan, because Marignan always goes with like a stupid bless. And he knows where Agartha is already. So by just induction, this is probably archicephaly. Which is, of course, unfair, because, yes, I know it's archicephaly, but I think my logic is somewhat reasonable. Otherwise, he can't see Marignon yet. He doesn't know that Marignon is about to invade this province. But he probably will next turn. He'll probably see his candles there. And he has no idea where Ulm is. Right? Yeah, he can't tell at all. I don't know why he has Dominion in this random desert in the cracked earth. Oh, he's even recruiting light infantry here in this province. This seems silly. I mean, if you want to spend gold on stuff, spend it on rehiring your mercenary snake charmers. These guys aren't very good. Beautiful. Anyway, so that's the end of this turn.